Happy Friday, everybody! Thanks for tuning in, tuning into my channel of bullshit. I'm so behind on all my lore videos and all the shit that I want to put out. I'm just talking mad trash on all these people because it's so much easier to do. Like I don't have to sit down and script anything and read off of, this paper like a fucking robot. I always wanted to make a YouTube channel where I could just be myself 100%. And I have this theory, right? Like in about 20, 30 years, give it, you're going to have AI perfectly replicate your favorite YouTuber, like their mannerisms, the way they greet you, all that stuff. And it's going to become so surreal, like you won't even be able to tell the difference half the time. And that's where we're headed. So that's why you gotta tune in to Azure News. It's my 17. I got an extra subscriber. Maybe that was a extra. One of the guys found out about all the capture quests I participated in, and magically none of those capture quests succeeded. But that's neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. I want you all to take a look at the goings on in the country of South Korea. Yeah. So, what is South Korea really? Well, it's one of the biggest spots in the world right now. Cutting edge technology, DDR5 RAM. You can slot into every single slot, unlike other RAM, manufacturers. I'm looking at you, IBM. For all I know, IBM probably makes the chipset, and then Samsung sells it. Well, no, Asians be some smart ass people, okay? So what I am trying to come out and say is we've gotten some news. Updates on the Johnny, possibly from Somali case, right? And it didn't end well for him. In fact, quite the contrary, it ended pretty much as badly as you think. It is one of those things where reality check doesn't even come close. I think it's more like I know I had a video that came out and it said signs of the times, and it's repetitive for me to say it again, but it's very much indicative as to where we're headed in society. So initially, Johnny Somali went to the great nation of Japan to pull a Logan Paul. That's right. Logan Paul went into Japan purposely acting like an idiot. What did he do? I think he bought seafood or something. He was throwing it at people, and at one point he tried to throw Pokeballs at people to capture them. And then that's pretty endearing when you think about it. Some semi-attractive white guy running around all roided out and all drugged out and shit, just dabbing. What the fuck are you dabbing on? Most likely fucking meth. But he goes there, and it's just the most lovable thing ever. He has to apologize, he made a mistake, and then they let him go. I don't know if he had to pay a ticket or a fine or anything, but I think they just freeze a bird. He's just all right, see you later, Logan Paul. Probably thought he was related to Hulk Hogan or some shit like that. So why did I bring this guy up? Well, he went to Japan, and he made a fool of himself and all that stuff. He went to the forest where the people, with the pressure of the corporate world. If I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in, I think it's all to do with the fucking currency and the fluctuation and the manipulation of the currency. Because we took what was possibly hundreds of thousands, nah, probably tens of thousands of millionaires, and we made them not millionaires. So they maybe have 50% of their capital left, 25, but they're not making the same kind of money they were during the miracle in Japan, which was I think the 80s or the 90s or something like that. And then everybody was trading with them. They're selling so much electronics, tons of stuff, video game consoles. Yeah, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx 16, all these game consoles. Yeah. Those were the times. I remember Neo Geo, the console for like super rich people. And like I've never seen anybody ever have one, but it's like yeah, I've seen like the whatever. It's just like home arcade system. So like made a fool of himself, Logan Paul in Japan, and then he created this like vacuum where all these guys started seeing themselves as Logan Paul. They're like, oh, you can make money, you can get famous, you do this, and girls like you. I could get my dick sucked. And so Johnny Somali buys a ticket to Japan. And did he get his dick sucked? Yes. By another man named Hank. I'm not even joking about that one. I think he really did like hook up with that guy, like on the low, keeping it on the low. And I find it ironic because I made a comment in More Pegasus's video. By the way, I watched More Pegasus's video about the topic. Go check him out, check out his video. I made a comment in his video, which I said it was like ironic that he acted like so flamboyant and so like insufferable on purpose, and then he winds up in jail where that kind of behavior, fuck, it's just the worst. It's just the worst. And you're on camera doing it, and you won't shut the fuck up either. Like, I'm gonna blow you guys up, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Dog, when they hand you your food, the first day you're in prison, just remember, all the things you fucking said are gonna come back to haunt you. All the fucking things you said. Oh, we're gonna wipe you out, Japan. It's gonna well, the thing he did in Japan was like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And he's saying that we're gonna do it again. Dog, you're like a fucking immigrant. You're a child of immigrants. And Jewish people invented the nuclear missile. It's funny how like all these like Islamic countries want to get their hands on a nuke, and it's like, wait, don't you know who invented it? And now you can argue that Einstein was educated by Austrians, Germans, whatever, right? And like he wouldn't be the genius that he is today if it wasn't for his teachers. But like last time I checked, Germans are pretty smart people. What am I saying? They invented basically rocket ships, the V8 rocket, which was like reincorporated into like spacecraft, technology or whatever. Even the Russians did it. Everybody did it. They stole like their intercontinental ballistic missile technology that they were going to come out with. And the reason why Hitler didn't want to use it, because he wanted to keep Europe intact. He didn't want to actually destroy it. He just wanted all the Jews out. And he was going to come for the Muslims afterwards. He's going to betray them. He's like, all the Muslims are like, no, me and Hitler, we're friends. Yeah, ask the SS that. How many Muslims existed in Germany before? It took World War II and the ousting of the Nazi Party for Muslims to come back into Germany. Kick the fuck right out. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're not part of our promised white people thingy. But whatever, right? So I bring that up because he didn't get the success that he wanted to, Johnny Somali, when going to Japan, acting like a fucking fool and stuff. So he goes to Korea, thinking it's going to be more or less the same there, and then lo and behold, the Koreans they only punk this guy on a regular basis, like punching him in the head. I think that actually that happened in Japan. Some like random guy came up to him and punched him in the head. But like, not only did they just punk him on like a near daily basis, they started hunting him down, throwing him a beating. I saw this one guy giving him a jump kick. Ah, dude. So why all this hate to this random guy I've never spoke of, on my channel ever before? Well, Johnny Somali is very much indicative of the youth and like their lack of direction and sensibility in tomorrow. And also, I find it funny how you can draw parallels between his behavior and the behavior of Hassan, where it's like, Hassan comes out with this obvious, like, his uncle, whoever paid for these people to put an editorial out for him in Time magazine. Just one picture of him posing in a bathtub, and he's like, that, like, when girls do it and they're like doing it to be suggestive, and like, oh, you don't know if I'm naked or not under these bubbles. And he's doing that, and I'm just like, why am I looking at this? Why would you pose? Who told you this was a good idea? It was a girl, wasn't it? Fucking hell. You're never gonna get the respect that you want. This girl's telling you what to do. Hey, pose sexily for the camera and take off all your clothes. It was like that scene from True Lies. Except I saw it. It was like, oh man, that's so wrong on so many different levels. So Johnny Somali didn't get his way in Korea, South Korea, and he even went as far as to go out of his way to insult them. This World War II memorial after the Imperial Japanese came in and made sex workers of the indigenous population, and they made statues to commemorate it. Yeah, I don't know why he did that, or what was the point of it. Like, okay, if you hate Koreans, just punch a guy, challenge a guy to a fight, get into I'm pretty sure they have like a underground fighting circuit over there. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it is, and it's like you get there, it's like everyone get ready for StarCraft, and then if you lose, then you actually fight. If you win, you fight. If you lose, you fight. That's the Fight Club. Oh man. So he didn't get his way, and then he got charged for whatever his crimes, this, that, and of all the things that you can get charged for, like he did some deep fakes. He did some I don't know, from my perspective, I don't think like a deep fake is worth years in prison. But then again, I'm not the South Korean justice system, right? Whatever. We all know that East Asians tend to be a little harsh with their authority and their punishments and stuff, because it's the idea, this is how India fails, right? If you're gonna have a high population of people, you have to maintain order and control at all times. Otherwise, you're just going to ensue the chaos. Chaos is going to ensue. Oh, see, look at how badly I failed trying to drop the rubble on the little guy, Chris, and then just drop it on myself. But so they gave him. Get this, 8 years. What the fuck, dude? No, I'm sorry. It's 12. Wow, that's monumentally worse. So if he's I'm guessing it is early 20s now. Fuck. Damn, son. He'll be coming out. He'll still be ish age. You know what I mean? He's still okay. He can still go out and hopefully find a girl, meet someone, move on with his life. But that, he's gonna be carrying some seriously heavy baggage with him. Going to that prison after all the things he said and done, dog. You're. If I was him, I would find some, even if it's no one's ever gonna see the money, I'll find some Korean or whatever organ doctor, and chop up my fucking body for the organs and send the money. And but I find that that's most likely the case with Johnny, where he doesn't necessarily have somebody that significant and important in his life, and that's why he acts so reckless. So that's it's on him. But again, he's gonna be coming out of that prison a changed man, completely different. It takes me back to and I know I'm making this comment and it's in poor taste, but when I used to watch To Catch a Predator, I was always wondering whatever happened to those guys who got caught on that show, and a lot of them, I think one of them was this one guy who kept doing the crime over and over again, and he did something where he would expose himself to little girls at a swimming pool or some shit like that, and so they just stuck him back in prison. Is this America? I think he's from the South or something like that, and yeah, he went in looking like your typical guy you see at a teenagers at a school. He kind of looks a little funny. His ears are really big. But he just looks normal. Wears nice glasses. Drives a really nice car. He pulls up to meet a decoy, the Chris Hansen decoy. he bring I don't know if he brought weed or whatever. No, somebody else brought weed. My bad. I gotta quit weed. Been smoking that shit too much. Um, but yeah, like he's just gonna come out like aged. His face is gonna be all different. He's gonna be sitting in like the that cell all day, all night, like with a finite amount of calories and energy to burn. You can never really like. I don't know if you can. Like some people in prison make it work, but I don't think like you're gonna be gaining mass like you would like crazy, you know, like you would outside, having the luxury of eating food and then this and that. Yeah, it's the end of the Johnny Somali as he rots in jail. And I bring this up because this is the reality check. Can you imagine, right? It took one person, Logan Paul, to show everybody the subconscious racism that exists in society, where a man could go and do, outlandish things, get a slap on the wrist, and even get fame and fortune from it. Like he probably got like, YouTube views on his channel. Look at me, I went to Japan, millions of views, whatever, right? And he got paid. Um, Johnny Somali, on the other hand, not only did he get like a fraction of the money, like a literal, like not even like a decimal point, like several decimal points back, like point zero 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 one. Not only did he do that and get like substantially less famous, less rewards, this that, but now he's serving a harsh ass jail sentence, and he's not alone. Like I gotta check up on it. Like Vitali, from the whole like his Philippines escapades. Wonder how he's doing and shit. Not like I really care, but like I'm bringing up this Johnny thing as like a wake up call, right? In Spain, they banned the Ramadan or Eid or whatever the fuck celebrations on the street. Like they're not saying like you can't absolutely celebrate it at all. They're just saying like yo, the imperialistic nature of Islam for you to fucking go out and celebrate it on the street, where people whatever, right? They want to do their own thing, or like maybe like they have the space for something else. Like it's imperialism, and nobody cares for it. Nobody wants it anymore. Now, obviously, the Muslims are going to be offended as they do, but it's not up to them. It's not their call to make. It's quite frankly one of those things where I find that it wasn't necessarily like a long time coming, but people are being pushed over and over and over again, right? As to like the reason why these people have come over here, the reason why these people like want to stay here, the fact that they don't want to leave, despite nobody wanting them, to stay around. And isn't it kind of one of those like weird realizations that maybe you're not alone in thinking that maybe a lot of other people from a lot of different other cultures feel the exact same way. So in the case of Japan, right, they say, okay, bye bye, Logan Paul. We'll give you like a little ticket. I don't know if they banned them or whatever from going to Japan or something like that. But it's like, you know what I mean? Just like very, very kiddie, very, very friendly type of thing. And that was it. Like he said his apology, he did his whole like PR statements. I think Logan Paul is like having like issues with this bullshit. Like all these kids do this thing with cryptocurrency. He's like, I can steal money from people, and the law can't stop me. Oh boy, time to get millions of dollars. Hey everybody, you want to get rich with me? Give me your money, or we'll get rich together. I swear, cryptocurrency is like one of the most dumbass like schemes ever. Like you see like one or two kids like honest story. Oh look, my parents invested into Bitcoin, now I own a house. I was like, oh, that's nice, that's how sweet. You own a house, you live there with your family, that's so cool, right? And then you see all these fucking old middle-aged assholes like, hey, you want to get rich, dude? They got this fucking the comb overs and all this stupid ass shit. It's like, god damn it, man. And like you want to leave it to the kids, right? Because that's their way of making money. Like back in the day, I had the luxury of being able to sell chop weed and shit, and like move some other things. And yeah, that was a luxury. I say it's a luxury because that shit does not exist anymore. Not only can you go to a dispensary and get it for much cheaper and this and that, but like yo, nobody's. It's it's not happening anymore. Even if you can get your hands on like some of the more illicit substances, nobody gives a shit. Like the fuck, cocaine sucks. Fucking meth sucks. All the fucking drugs suck, dude. They're fucking retards and stuff with way too much money to spend and low intelligence. Let me throw money away. Why don't you just like? And these are the kinds of people that if you ask them, like, yo, have you ever smoked? Like, $80, $100 to your face, and we're like, no, why would I do that? That's stupid. And like the wake up call isn't just from the whole like differentiation of two-tier treatment, if you will, right? Like I commented on before, like the women doing the whole sting against the cat callers. It's a fucking wake up call, dude. Like who are men and who are bitches? And we know who the bitches are. Almost a little too much, Like I think we know that the people in the UK are, and the men in that country are, because they allowed this shit to happen. The girl in the McDonald's incident, aforementioned, grooming gangs, sexual assaults on women in general, uncontrolled immigration, and the fact that people are so scared of their police to the point where, how come in America, right? And I'm not saying like this is a good thing, but like cops, innocent cops, get killed for way less. Like George Floyd gets like a knee put on his neck, and I counted. I think it was like 7 minutes and 50 something seconds. Oh, let's just say 8 minutes. 8 minutes solid, right? I counted. So he had the knee on his neck for 8 minutes solid, and yeah, like riots break out. People are fucking dying. Cops are getting killed. Innocent cops who had nothing to do with it or whatever, right? And like nobody wants to talk about the history between these two individuals. It's a white versus black thing. Don't worry about him being like a stripper and them both being bouncers and shit. And like, what the fuck? No, and then nobody questions it whatsoever. It's like, how did these people actually know each other? This seems kind of personal. No, it's a black versus white thing. And that's your fucking wake up call, right? That's the fucking wake up call, is that people aren't buying the shit anymore. Like in the UK, you're gonna tell the citizens, because everybody else around you doesn't believe the fucking bullshit, right? And you can even see it in these female, faux police officers, these fucking cunts who are like, running around, yo, catcall me, I dare you to. I'll fucking, roll up on you with some taxpayer-funded police. Contempt of the people to the nth fucking degree. The nth fucking degree, my god. It's just like so insanely like perilous how badly they treat their citizens, but here we are. Nobody likes you. No one's forced to like you anymore. Yeah, I guess I gotta make another video to throw my usual like racist tirades and this and that. Take care, I guess. Be safe.